Oh, this video is going to be interesting. I've been using the Pixel 3 XL for about 1 month, and this review has been very hard for me for several reasons. I flip-flopped a few times on a few things, and it leaves me somewhat conflicted. I'm Kevin the Tech Ninja, and let's deep dive into it. Off the bat, let's get to the camera. The Pixel 3 XL has a great camera. It's so good that I've been using this over my point and shoot camera, and I'm confident enough to say that it's the best camera that I can fit into my pocket. I can pull my Pixel out in any situation and get a stunning photo. The camera is the best that I've used on any phone by far, and the video isn't too shabby either. Although the video does have some audio recording issues where the audio sounds flat. Adam Z, I'm amazing. You don't have that immersive sound like you do with the iPhone or also the Note 9, but the video looks good, stabilization is great, it's not choppy, it's not bouncy at all. I've actually used some of the footage as supplemental footage for some of my tech reviews that I've shot with my camera, and I was able to swap the footage back and forth without many people noticing. The front camera is super wide, allowing you to get more people in the shot than ever before. It doesn't start off as wide, but there's a slider that you can slide and you can get that wide shot. Now in that wide selfie, you still have that crispness, you still have that portrait mode, and it still looks very good. Also night shot without sounding too redundant. It's magical. It's actually night and day. You can take a picture in night shot and it just finds a way to gather light from around the area, and it just makes the image look a whole lot better. Google for the 3rd year in a row has now set the benchmark of what a great camera is, and this is why the phone stays in my pocket. But a phone is much more than a camera. For people, a phone is more important than their actual computer at their house. There's way much more to it. The build of the Pixel 3 feels premium in the hand. The black Pixel gets fingerprints and scratches since it's glass. The white does not get fingerprints at all. I actually bought the white one instead. It also is prone to get scratches, you just can't see them too well. So you know what I'm gonna say, grab a dbrand skin. It alleviates that a little bit, switches up the design, and they're a great sponsor for my channel. So make sure you hit the link down below to dbrand your device, check it out. People make a lot of fuss about the notch at the top of the phone. If you don't know what the notch is, this is where the phone kind of dips into the screen, and what this dip does allows it to push the bezels up so you actually get more screen. A lot of people really hate this and they're passionate about it. For me, after a while, you sort of get used to it. It only rears its ugly head in certain situations, and then it's really not that bad. The Pixel is running Android 9.0, which is Google's latest OS. And there are a few things about this OS that I just don't like. I don't feel that the gesture control is done very well. I find myself, even after a month, thinking about how to use it rather than just using it. I feel like the moves and the gestures are kind of clunky, and I just rather have buttons. It seems like OnePlus uses gestures but just does it better. Not saying the phone is clunky, it's the opposite of that. In fact, it's fast, it's buttery smooth. Opening and closing apps is extremely fast. Albeit, it seems like some apps don't stay open as long as they should, and the memory isn't really holding on to apps. But beyond that, the phone is fast. It launches apps very fast. The gaming is very fast. Everything is just fast with the phone, as expected. The screen on the XL is made by Samsung, so it's great. The colors are sharp, the white balance is fantastic, the blacks are deep. However, the brightness isn't great. In direct sunlight, you can compare it to the Note 9 or the iPhone 10, and look at this. You can definitely see a difference here, and that does affect real world usage. If you live somewhere in a sunny area or if you're outside often, it will be harder to see the screen. I'm actually impressed with the speakers. They do sound a little bit different compared to other phones, but I like how it sounds. It's kind of a sound signature, if you will. It sounds a little bit more processed, but in my opinion, it's better than the airy and the tinny sounding speakers that you hear with a lot of other phones. It doesn't get as loud as some phones, but I think for me, they're good, and I really enjoy listening to music just on the speakers. So here is where I get conflicted. How do I say this? I've been on Android for 10 years, and with each release of Android, I now see Google's inconsistencies more and more. Before, I would turn a blind eye to these inconsistencies, but as I become older and my needs have changed. Before, if I didn't get the latest software, I would flash it. Before, if I didn't get the latest app, I would download the APK. Before, that wasn't an issue. And now, as time becomes more precious, there are things that I'm just not willing to do anymore. And as a consumer paying as much as what you pay for these phones, and I think that hackery stuff shouldn't be required. For example, I found that my GPS, for some reason, doesn't think I'm on the freeway. It always recalculates me to get back on the freeway when I'm already on the freeway. And this wasn't a one-time thing. It's been a consistent issue in my area, and also when I took kind of a small road trip, the same thing happened several times. Also, I don't have the latest security update. It should be rolling out soon, but I never had October's update. I've only had September, and now I'm supposedly going to get November pretty soon. However, when you buy a Pixel device, I thought software was part of the package that you're paying for. Of course, you can flash it and do other things with it, but once again, paying almost $1,000 for a phone and limited time, I shouldn't have to do these things to get the latest software. And also, the proper APIs are still not working. So for example, if I take a picture in the camera app, or if I take a picture in Twitter, you're not going to get the same quality of pictures. The API for the Pixel camera is not in these apps, so you're not getting that great picture that you see. I know Instagram announced it as using its API, but there's tons of other apps that are not using the API, and you end up with regular looking pictures versus Pixel quality pictures. It's a small thing, but once again, it's a detail that Google should have figured out by now. It's been 10 years. There are so many things that Google doesn't get right, and it's just frustrating as a person that loves Google, as a person that's been using Google for so long. They don't get certain things right, and it's mind-blowing and it's sad. But then you find these super innovating features that makes life a whole lot easier. Like call screen. When someone calls you, you can press a button and it makes the person leave a message, and then there's a transcript, and then from there you can decide to answer or not answer. That is an amazing innovative feature, and during this election season it's been amazing because I get so many phone calls of people telling me to vote for so-and-so. I can now just have those people leave a message and I can decide to answer it or not. And also having the ability to have your phone make a call automatically and set appointments for you. Things like that no one else can do, that only Google can do. That's amazing, but simple things, the fundamentals of software and making sure your APIs work and making sure your new phone works with Android Auto, just things like that is what frustrates me. Regardless, don't let this take away from a great phone. The Pixel is a great phone, but I do have to mention things that really bother me about the phone. You watch my videos for my opinion, and that is my honest opinion of this phone. Am I going to return the Pixel? Am I saying I'm done with the Pixel? No, of course not. And the Pixel will get better over time. There will be updates. Things will become better with the phone. But as of right now, it's just bad that it seems like we always wait for an update to fix certain issues. Yes, iPhone has issues too, and I slam them for that. Samsung has issues too, I slam them from that. But we have to look at everything independently and be honest about it. I think Google has quality control issues when things come out and software doesn't feel to be 100% ready. They push out updates and things get a lot better, but it takes time for that. And for a lot of people, they rather wait to the holiday season or rather wait a couple months for all the bugs to get out the phone before purchasing it. And that's not a bad idea. Anyways, guys, I will be pushing out an updated review once these issues get fixed, as I know that these are software issues and not hardware issues. Anyways, guys, Kevin the Tech Ninja. If you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and I cover everything from the smartphone to the smart home. I'll let you guys later. Peace.